The topic given me was our beginnings, our present, and our future. Our beginning was revisiting local school boards, reinventing local school boards. I still remember traveling all over Mindanao with Secretary Jesse Robredo, talking to the mayors, and teaching them something that you should. This morning we were told that we have to make things happen. And one of the things he would tell the mayors is, don't be afraid to do things. And he always said, what is not forbidden is allowed. You don't have to wait for permission. If it is not illegal, it is allowed. Please remember that. So that was our beginning. And then our present is kayo. Our present here. Ang dami-dami natin ngayon. I still remember going to UP to launch the Big Equals program. Kukunti lang tayo noon. Governor Mix at that time joined us all the way from Sarangani. So that was our beginning. A lot of heart, a lot of drive, pero hindi pa masyadong maraming kasama. Ngayon, ang dami na natin. That's our present. And our future was immediate future anyway, or the future was outlined this morning by Senator Win and Senator Bam. Our future is we have opportunity. Pwede tayong gumawa. Nasa sa atin kung gagawa tayo. So, our speakers this morning, they showed us their own carpe diem. They took advantage of what has been considered by most of us a disaster, namely the flood control corruption, and that gave them the hundreds of billions pesos available, which they worked to put into education. Did you ever think that would happen? Lahat ng mga trillion peso marks na ginagawa natin ngayon, meron ding okay na resulta. Umabot tayo sa over 4% of GDP for education. Meron tayong 68 billion for construction and 20 billion for feeding programs. Dalawang napakahalagang sabihin natin, nais natin gawin para sa ating kabataan. So, our first speaker, on the first day, si Secretary Rex, said that we should listen and learn from our people, anong priorities nila. And on the way to doing that, sabi niya, marami tayong maririnig, mahirap yan, hindi pwedeng gawin yon, illegal yon, hindi pwedeng gawin. And what did he say? Anong sabi ni Secretary Rex? Do it anyway. Be relentless. Be relentless. Humanap ng paraan. Kung yung mga sasamang babayan natin, parating may paraan, dapat tayo rin na nais ng mabuti ay humanap ng paraan. Be relentless. Don't give up. Or keep doing things. I think, sulong pa rin. We have to be relentless to make it happen. So, and now we have the opportunity. We have the opportunity. Yung dalawang napaka-importanteng bagay na nais tayong gawin to close the classroom shortage. And remember what they said, if we cannot spend that 68 billion, baka next year, babawasan na yon. If we don't spend that 20 billion, next year, babawasan na yon. So, hindi lamang prejudice yung sa taon, the future. On the other hand, if we do well, kanina tinanong nila, are you ready? Mga mayors, are you ready? Yes pa rin? Medyo humina. I hope you're ready. Because it will not be easy. I was talking to Ma'am Nene kanina, my experience in implementing the feeding program from the national budget. You have to deal with procurement, you have to deal with COA, you have to worry about liquidation, The first time we implemented it, many of the teachers sabi nila, ayaw na namin kasi ang dami-daming forms that we have to fill. Kailangan talagang paghirapan. I think we know that from Valenzuela. Ang hirap talagang gawin. But, gagawin pa rin natin. And so we have to learn to change to make things happen.
Monday.
Lahat na maririnig natin. I'd like to tell you a very recent story of change. Because it took a lot of courage. I was in Sulu 4 days, February 7 to 10. My 5th visit there. Started visiting Sulu in early 2023 kasi nabalitaan ko na mapayapa na, there was peace. And for those of us who know Sulu, we hear the word patikul, talagang nakakatakot. Kidnapping for ransom. Pero, why did that happen? Bakit dumating tayo sa kapayapaan doon? One, the army changed. The army changed. Kausap ko ng isang brigade commander, a general, sabi nila, we learned to move from winning the war to winning the peace. So para sa amin, winning the war was body count. How many Abu Sayyaf did we kill? We learned that we must instead win the peace. Ang naging metrics namin, hindi na body count, kundi ang mga mamamayan, are they able to go and plant? Are they able to go and harvest? Are they able to go and bring their goods to the market? Yung mga bata, nakakapasok ba? We learned to win the peace. And that was a very important part of the process of peace. Ang mamamayan naman, they were very courageous. They engaged both the military and they engaged Abu Sayyaf, and they said, we want peace. They had what they call the team patikul. LGU, the local governments, and so on. And it was courageous. The vice mayor of Patikul told me he was ambushed 5 times. Pusige pa rin. Desire for change and for peace. Bakit nila ginawa ito? Because of their love for their children. When I asked them, why did you risk your life? Why did you do all of these things? Because they love their children. I tell you this because yun din ang sagot kanina nila Senator Win at ni Senator Bam. Tanong ni Ma'am Cheche, pwede ba talagang mawala ang politika? Is it possible to avoid politics? And the answer was, sana iwasan natin ang politics for the sake of our children. Will you have the courage to do all of these things? We will, kakayanin natin kung talagang we love our children. And so for me, that is what I want to share with you today. So on my last visit this time, tahimik na doon, we were able to turn over classrooms kasi they really wanted the children to study. I've been raising money for the classrooms for them. I was with a foundation that was doing feeding programs for 14 elementary schools in Patikul, in Omar, Talipao, and in Danan. And when I think of those children, I begin to understand why we must really work hard. And we are doing something that for me is hopeful and daring. We're doing a tutorial program online. We did it already for 100 out-of-school youth, but this time we're doing it for 100 out-of-school youth who are families of Abu Sayyaf. It will be very challenging, but it will bring peace. So why do I tell you these things? Kasi if you had told me 4 or 5 years ago na pwedeng gawin ito sa Sulu, na pwedeng tahimik ng Patikul, I don't think I would have believed you. I don't think, those of us who know there, don't think we would have believed you. In fact, when I first heard na tahimik na doon, that there's no nightlife, merong cafes now. I was not sure. Why do I tell you this? Because it's possible to change because we really want to change, because we love our children, and we're courageous enough to do it. So yun ang message ko sa ating lahat. Actually, you will find, you all said you're ready, but when you actually get there, you'll find out it is not easy. It is not easy to implement the construction. It is not easy to implement the feeding programs. Pero, gagawin natin. We will do it, right? Yes, we will do it. We will do it because we care for the future of our children and we care for the future of our country. So sa wakas, people ask me, what inspires you to go and continue to do these things? Because every time I look into the face of the children, I feel I have to create a future for them. I cannot give up. I cannot give up on them. I cannot give up on them. I cannot look at all these children and say, pasensya na lang kayo. Ganun din sana tayong lahat. I think the greatest inspiration we can have is to really look into the eyes of all those children, hungry children, children who cannot read, and say, no, we cannot give up. We cannot give up. We must continue to push hard because we want a better future for them. It's not just a question of population dividend. Ito ay dahil sa mahal natin ang ating mga bata. So yun, that's my final message to all of us. We have the opportunity to make a difference. Senate has carpe diem. They've seized the opportunity to give us the funds. Nasa sa atin na kung tayo ay gagawa. So, are we ready? Yes. Susulong ba tayo? Thank you very, very much.
Maraming salamat, Father Ben.